Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our church tonight. I think we've got a record number tonight. If not, we're close to it. So, some of you are probably expecting to see Billy Wakeling tonight, but unfortunately he's not well. So we've got Karen Butler, stepped in at the last minute.
Good evening.
Yeah. Over your lunch, is that right?
It was over lunch.
Thanks very much, Karen. You're welcome. And for those who are watching online, we've got Stephen Woods waiting in the wings to come on later on. I'll now ask Karen to open in prayer for us, and that will be followed by us all saying the Lord's Prayer together.
Thank you, Frank. I'd ask you to join me, please. Divine Spirit, guides, loved ones, helpers. We ask that you join together tonight, keeping us safe with a cloak of protection around us. And we ask that we get evidence from our loved ones to show that there's life after life. So I'm just being manhandled here, we can all see. Thank you, Frank. We also ask that healing be sent to everyone that needs it, including the animal kingdom and Mother Earth. Amen.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on This day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Yeah, I'll have it back now. I will now light our church candle and invite those of you at home to light your own candles if you're able to. And I invite you to ask your loved ones in spirit to draw close to us now, so that we may feel their love and presence all around us. May this be the candle to enlighten us all, the light of strength and love that spreads all around the world, the fire that enables us to burn out all our pride, our selfishness, and the impurities that are within us. May we be the flame that brings warmth to all our hearts, warmth to our family, our neighbours, our friends, and all those around us, and those we meet on our life's journey, and all those who need it most. I ask you now to join me in sending out love and light to all those in need of healing. Loving thoughts and prayers create a strong healing energy that can reach all around the world to all the people and places that need it most. I'll begin by reading from the Church Healing Book and then offer a prayer. And our prayers are now asked for. Pick the wrong book up. Pick the wrong book up. Our prayers are now asked for Iris, Natalie, Peter, Bob, who's passed, Anne, who's passed, Josh, Sharon, baby Freddie, Matthew, Eileen, Joy, Norman, Simon, Sean, David, Bonnie, Anne, Sam, Sharon, Claire, Pat, Floyd, Jenny W, Jenny S, John T, Jill, David, Maggie, Dougie, Darren, Claire, Darren, Talia, Lorraine, Chris and Elaine, Karen, Lauren, Andy, Billy, Cal, Dave, John and Kitty, Suki, Fran, Joan, Terry, Colin, Cyril, Veronica, Peter, Martin, Peggy, Shirley, Carol and Bill, Carol, Lynn, Charlie and Mark, June, Dennis and Mark, Spencer, Alan and Kay, Eve and Peter, Richard, Brenda, Janice, Dennis, Susan, Glenn, Donna, Dag, Flick, Ian and Amanda, Jade, Lincoln, Bonnie, Jenny, Sandra, Bonnie, Anne, Pat and Sharon. Mark, Dean, Emma, Sarah, Scott and Nick. Paul Dolby, Danny, baby Colin, Danny Wakeman, and David and Susan and family, and Kelly, Mandy, Wakeman and family, and Karen, who passed away 4 years ago, Jean and family, Barbara, Carolyn and family, Jade, Lisa, Paula, Marie, Margaret Hamilton, Kathy Hamilton, Freddie Mercer, Wendy and Paul Mooley, Bobby, Jay, Curtis and the Borum family, Brenda Foster and Michelle. Dear Heavenly Father, we join together now to send out our thoughts of love, light around to all those in need of healing, both physically and emotionally. And we ask that you also reach and protect our animal kingdom and the world of nature that is all around us. We pray that our energy may reach those who are cold or homeless tonight, and all those less fortunate than ourselves, wherever they may be. May our thoughts and energy bring love, calm and peace to everybody. And we ask this in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Saviour. Amen. We now have 1 minute's silence so that you can send out your own personal thoughts and prayers to those in need, those whose names we read tonight, and any you may now think of in your own private thoughts. And this will be broken by singing the hymn, Gracious Spirit, the words of which are in the front of your hymn book. I will now invite Peter to bring us our Bible reading for this evening. Come here. All right.
You've all brought your angels along. You can see you're all here. And welcome to those online. Tonight's reading is a parable of the unmerciful servant. It's the centre part of the Lord's Prayer which we talk and we speak of each time we have a service. Last week's reading, Jesus is teaching Matthew chapter 6, and is also in chapter of Luke number 11. Sometimes there is a difference in words, and this is important. Luke uses forgiveness of sins in his case. I suggest God's second commandment, love thy neighbour as thyself. Therefore, being loving to each other, not to cause harm in word or deed. Matthew uses forgiveness of our debts or owing a duty, the debtor failing to repay a promise in return for an act causing harm in a failure to repay a promise. We in our Christian Spiritualist Church use trespass, a well-defined legal term for passing across another's rights, word or deed. 2 weeks ago, I said it was necessary to delve deeper into the words that reveal more than appears on the surface. And of course, failure to meet God's second commandment is a failure of love to God, which we ask forgiveness every time we recite the Lord's Prayer. There are many places in the scriptures explaining what is required of us to meet God's commandments, 1 to God and 2 to our neighbour. I've used tonight's reading, the parable of the unmerciful servant, as a demonstration that Matthew uses in the word of debt, but also is not meant to refer to one single issue, but I see it as referring to a period of one lifetime. And I see it easily understood as 2 teachings. Living to God's commandments is all loving, all forgiving, but not without repentance. We have to put it right with change of one's behaviour or conduct. The second teaching is what humans have developed in themselves following the sins of greed and selfishness. And I would add, make your own choice on who the master represents, giving generously, and the servant who will not forgive even a little. There is a lot in the reading of the unmerciful servant to seek out and understand. The messages of love which comes direct from the heart centre. Tonight's reading, Matthew 8, 21 to 35, the unmerciful servant. Then Peter came to Jesus and asked, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me? Up to 7 times. Jesus answered, I tell you, not 7 times, but 7 times. Therefore the kingdom of heaven is like a king who wanted to settle accounts with his servants. As he began the settlement, a man who owed him 10,000 talents was brought to him. Since he was not able to pay, the master ordered that he and his wife and his children and all that he had be sold to repay the debt. At this, the servant fell on his knees before him. Be patient with me, he begged, and I will pay back everything. The servant's master took pity on him, cancelled the debt, and let him go. But when that servant went out, he found one of his fellow servants who owed him 100 denarii. He grabbed him and began to choke him. Pay back what you owe me, he demanded. His fellow servant fell to his knees and begged him, be patient with me, and I'll pay it back. But he refused. Instead, he went off and had the man thrown into prison until he could pay the debt. When the other servants saw what had happened, They were outraged and went and told their master everything that had happened. Then the master called the servant in. "You wicked servant," he said, "I cancelled all your debts of yours because you begged me to. Shouldn't you have had mercy on your fellow servant, just as I did on you?" In anger, his master handed him over to the jailers until he called back all that he owed. This is how my heavenly Father will treat each of you, unless you forgive your brother or sister from your heart. God bless that reading. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
Unhitch me, sir.
It's now time for those of you who are watching us online to leave us here in church and be joined by Bob and Stephen, who will guide you through the rest of our service. We thank you for joining us tonight and look forward to seeing you all again soon. Our second
Welcome, Stephen. Thank you for joining us tonight. I will hand over to you for an address or the clairvoyance.
Oh, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. It's really nice to be back online with you. I'd just like to give a little talk because it's something that I like to do. It helps me work on my mediumship and work with views as we go along. Tonight I want to talk about simple words and how they work for us. Now, we look at different words and we don't realize how powerful they are. Sometimes the smaller words are the most powerful. Take, for instance, God. It's a very small word, but means so much and is known around the world. And let's talk about love and how important that is, and the importance of how love works. Do we know? And in all fairness, we don't know, because there's so many different forms of love, that there's so many different interpretations of God. If you look at the word love, we look at the word love and go, well, I love my mum and dad. And you look at it and you go, do I love my mum and dad the same way as I love my children? And in a way you do, but in another way you don't, because you love your children in an entirely different way, even though you don't realize it. It is a different form of love. And love comes in many forms, different ways. You know, we have people that we love, but we don't like. Now that sounds a strange thing to say, but it is what we do. We have maybe a family member, a friend, and, you know, they upset us a lot in different ways, but we can't stop loving them. We can't stop having them being a part of our life, and feelings for them and respect for them. And that is something that we find hard sometimes to get away from, that we need them in our lives, but we don't like them in our lives, but we love them, so we need them there. And that's the strange thing about the word love, trying to find out what it means to you. Do you love your animals the same way as you love your children? Do you love your aunts and uncles the same way as you love your mum and dad? It's all a different form of love. Love and friendship. Your wife. You love your wife in a different way to you would love your parents, your children. It's just a general word, but it means so much and in so many different ways. And it's trying to analyze the best part of where we stand with the word love. And it's the same with God. We have to find where we stand with the word God. Do we look at God as a man? Well, perhaps a lot of people do. Me, I don't. I look at it as the whole power, the whole thing. And what that gives me is something special. But can I condemn people for thinking that God is a man? No, because it's preached to us that way. And so we look at it that way, and we're brought up with it that way. So we have to look and analyze for ourselves and find out for ourselves where the word God and what it perceives to us, and how we look at it, and how we want to live with that. And I'm happy to live with God being an ultimate power that I know looks after all of us in his own way. It is a special gift. The whole thing is a special thing. You know, I don't want to look at God as a man, because I think, why should I look at God as a man when there's women? Why should, and you know, God could be anything that we want to perceive it to be. But God is the ultimate power, and you have to look at it and analyze it the best way you can, and with that, go forward with it, because everything that we get from God is love, and love is one of them words that we have to try and analyze and deal with ourselves, so that we can get the best out of what we can out of the word love, and the best we can get out of the word God. And together, if we look at both of them, it's to give the best we possibly can. Now, none of us are perfect. We're all going to make mistakes in lives. It's just natural. It's going to come as it does. And we're all going to do things that we shouldn't do. Does God forgive us? Yes. You know, it depends on what we've done, but he forgives us for the simple things that we would make mistakes on, because we're human and we will make their mistakes. So it's very, very important to analyze everything in your life and bring the goodness out of it in the best way you can. And the two powerful words that you have to work with, well, the two powerful words that I work with is God and love. So I want to thank you for listening to that, and I'll say God bless. Thank you. Right, now, a quick insight into how I work, because I'm now going into mediumship. I mainly work what they call clairsentience, which is feelings. I'll express them the best way I can. They sometimes work with pictures, which is clairvoyance. So you might hear me say I'm seeing, or I've got a picture that show me this. And on the odd occasion, if I'm good, then I get thoughts of conversation, maybe a name, and that's what they call clairaudient. And I go with all three of them. Most mediums work with all three, more with one than the other. So I say thank you for that, and I'm going to start. I've got to press a button here, I believe, and let's see where we go with this. Right. Where are we going? Comments. Here we go. Yes, here we go. Right. Hello there. Right. I'm just going to go now. I'm just going to get, as I get a feeling, I'm getting a feeling of, okay. I'm getting a feeling of children, a gathering of children. So I've got a lady in spirit that she's looking, and there's a gathering of children. So I'm not sure whether this is a children's birthday party, or whether there's a significance around children's birthday party at this present moment in time. So it must be that there's a party going on for a child at this present moment in time, and I'm getting this feeling around that. So I know this lady feels like a grandmother, in spirit that she's looking over, and she's seeing this and she's excited about giving it. Feels like a granddaughter, where there's a feeling of a birthday party going on. Would anybody understand the feeling of around a young child? It feels very feminine to me, so it feels like a girl, and it's around about this time, so it'll be pretty within the last weekend and next weekend, so it'll be around about that time, because I know this lady's looking at it. Would anybody understand that? Anybody? Sorry, I can't see any movement there. Right, okay, I've got one down the bottom here, bear with me. It's Kaylee Copeland, yeah? Hello, Kaylee. Can we have you pulled up, or do I have to press on you? Let's have a look. Hello, Kaylee. Right, and it's your daughter's 13th birthday. And would you understand why I'm seeing a party going on for her? Would you understand a party, doing a party for her? Kaylee, would you understand that? She had a little party, okay. Would you understand a grandmother being in spirit, connected to yourself as well? She had a party. Yes, that's lovely. So she had a few friends round, and you would understand that she's got a grandmother in spirit. Yes. Yes, okay, that's good. Because this lady, as she's talking to me, she was really excited about this party and how it's coming along. And it's just, I know there was a lot of excitement around it from the beginning. I know that with this young lady, and I call her a young lady because, my granddaughter's just left and she's 16 and she's the youngest out of them. But as I know the excitement that comes with that, but what are you trying to say to me, darling? Okay. She's saying it's you can start to see the changes around this young girl now. Would you understand that? She's saying that she's starting to change quite a lot at the moment. And I know that you've been a little bit worried, but I feel like there's a connection to some good friends around her. And I feel like the way she's talking, I want to get her into some form of sport or something to do with sport. Okay. So it's almost like I want to link her in with a group of people. So it's not just an individual sport where, say, you're swimming on your own, but it's a sport where there's a connection to a group of people. Let's just say like netball or women's football or whatever they're doing now. But I feel like I want to get her in something like that, even a form of even martial arts or something like that. But I feel like I want, this lady's telling me she needs something like that in her life to help her to grow now, right at this moment in time. Would you understand that, Kaylee? Or does she already do that? I would. Okay, lovely. Thank you. Because as I'm seeing it, she's your grandmother's saying to me that, at her age they can get very much tied up sometimes with the wrong people. I'm not saying she is, but because I don't get that feeling, but it feels like if you're in a group and you're connected into a sport where there's a lot of people or something like that, it's going to benefit her in the long run. Yeah, that's all right, Kaylee. Right, okay. And would you understand, has she been thinking about doing something like this? Or have you been thinking of trying to get her into something like this? Because I feel like there's a link to you and trying to think of something to do for her to get her into a different place so that these teenage years are not so hard on her. Do you understand? Right. Right. Well, what I'll do is, because it's not moving very fast here. I don't know whether it's, I've got full barring, but I'm not sure. But what I'm going to do is this, as this lady is there at the moment, I know she's been, yeah, yeah, that's fine. I see that, Kaylee. You sport or theatre, yeah, it's a wonderful thing to do. Any of them type of things, you've just got to try and convince her. And I know it's very hard if they're not interested. But once they get into it, once you get them, you sort of almost push them into it in a gentle way. This lady's telling me she will learn from that, and she will grow with that, and it will make her a lot better. It will take her through these teenage years a little bit softer than if she's just going out with her mates everywhere and doing what she wants to do. It's like it makes a connection. And even if you can try and convince some of her mates to get involved in something with her, you know, the friends that she's got, it would help. But that's something is more about your daughter, and that's what she's trying to say. So I feel like she's trying to highlight to you what you can do with your daughter to help her and her granddaughter, because I know she's looking on her and she wants to let you know, not forgetting you. Okay, not forgetting you, but she wants to let you know that she's there for you and the family. So I'm going to leave her love with you. I'm going to say God bless. Okay, Kaylee, thank you very much for listening. Okay, right. We've got I've got the name of Brenda coming in. I'm not sure who this links to, but she's telling me her name is Brenda, and she's on the other side now. So I feel like there's a Brenda, and I feel like she's on the other side. She wants to link with someone on this side. She's not giving me a name. Give me a name. Can you give me a name? All she keeps saying is my name's Brenda. So I'm getting the name Brenda. Would anybody understand the name of Brenda with someone in spirit? Right. Could be my mum. Okay. All right, Sarah. I'm just getting a feeling of this lady. She keeps saying her name was Brenda. I couldn't get much more from her, but that's what I was getting as she's coming through. Okay. And right, okay. She's been in spirit a little while now. Would you understand that, Sarah? So she's showing me that it's not like in the last sort of 6 months or anything like that. It's a longer period than that. And as she, yeah, okay. Yes, 13 years. I thought so. She just felt like she's been there for quite a while. Okay. Now I know in a way I'm just getting a feeling that I know you still. There's a lot of faults that still go up to this lady, because she's sort of mentioning that you know, she's been uh, trying to get through, or I'm not sure if she's been through before, but she's been trying to get through recently. So I don't know whether you've had any messages recently, but it feels like it's been a while since she's been through. Would you understand that? Yeah. Okay. because I know, I feel like she's talking about a slight bit of desperation or a little bit of anxiety around yourself or the family at the moment. That's what she's talking about. So she's talking about this, there's some hurt in the family at the moment, she's saying. Yeah. So I feel like there's something to do with something not quite right around the family at the moment. And she's saying she's seeing it as it's happening. Okay. Anxiety. Okay. That's around yourself. Would you understand that there's something going on in the family at the moment as well? Because I feel like, yeah. Oh, okay, good. Because she mentions that there's things going on that's very disruptive to the family, and she's not happy about that. She wouldn't. Well, she wouldn't be happy about that. She's saying, and you would know that. Okay, I know that's why you've been thinking about it, and that's why she's come through today. Okay. Arguments just breed. Okay, I'm just going to give it to you as she gives it to me. She goes, arguments breed arguments, and it's almost like you've got to pull them, get together, sit down in a comfortable place, let each and every person air their views in their own way. If you can do that without one overshadowing the other, then you're going to achieve something, even if you do it a one-to-one first of all, and then each individual where the arguments are going. Never argued before. Okay. All right. Because she's saying that this disruption can be made good by just generally talking, but not over talking one another. So it's like one says something, the other one jumps in and says something, and then it turns into an argument. She's saying that she wants you to sit one to one, listen to what one's got to say, and just hold back, and then just say, "All right, can I just say this?" And then you can discuss it in a way where there's no tension or hatred, or because let's be fair, it creates hatred, and you don't want that, and it just goes from bad to worse. So you just need to draw back and change it and make life a little bit easier and start to discuss things in a different way, and let one speak and then the other one speak, and then you'll resolve the problems she's saying that you're going through at the moment. Okay. Would you understand the name of John as well? Okay. Would you understand the name of John, Sarah? Because she's given me the name of John. I just need you to, okay. She's given me the name of John. She wants me to, okay. Not John. Okay. You don't understand that name at all. Okay. It might be someone else coming in. That's why I have to ask. So, okay. What do you want to say then? Okay. If you go about this in the right way, Sarah, now, and she said, you will put everything right, and all this disruption and the heartache will go away. Okay. So I just want to leave a love with you there. I'm going to say God bless, but if you take on board what she said, then that's fine. Okay. If you can't think of John, that's fine. It could be someone shouting out their name in the background, because I just hear the name John coming in while I was talking. Okay. So I've got the name of, I'll say God bless. Right. I've got the name of John coming in. I'm not sure where we are with this. He just shouted out John in the background. He's feels very much either like it. I get the same feeling for fathers, brothers, and things like that, and granddads. But it feels a little bit brotherly or something like that. Would anybody understand the name of John that connects to like a brotherly? It's a brotherly feeling. So if it's not brother, it could be father. But right, okay. So right, right. I know this person's very close. Right, okay, Pamela. Okay, we've got Pamela. You got, yes, your brother in spirit. Yes, called John. Okay, I feel like as I get a feeling of John, I feel quite distressed near the end of my life, or there's a lot of distress around it near the end of my life. Would you understand that? It's a very sad feeling around this gentleman. He's trying to give me a feeling of it. He's not sad over there, but he said there was a lot of sadness around his passing, or it feels like it was before he passed, but he's giving me that feeling that there's a lot of sadness going on around there. Would you understand that, Pamela? Right, okay. That's why I'm getting this feeling then. Okay. I feel like with this, with John, I feel like he's just come through to let people know that he's very, very happy where he is at this present moment in time. For obvious reasons, he doesn't want to be there, but he is very comfortable with where he is, and he wants everybody to know that he's very happy. Yeah, okay. Because I know that people were looking over him, but I feel like, because it feels like I'm being stared at, like, and I don't know whether I'm in a hospital bed or what, but I feel like there's people looking over me. So I don't know what he means by that, but that's what he's giving me. He's giving me a feeling of people just like as if they're staring at him, looking over him. And I'm not sure if this is in a hospital bed or something else, because I'm not sure if it's, yeah, okay. Yeah, so I just feel like there was people looking over him when he was ill or as things was going on. And I'm not sure if it was like, I'm going to ask you a question because you keep showing me a coffin. Did you go and visit him when he was in his coffin? Oh, right. Okay. That's why there's a lot of people staring over him. Okay. Okay. I'm getting that's why I'm seeing it. So it's like being confined then. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that's why. All right. Did you go and see him though when he passed away? Did you go and see him while he was in his coffin? Because I feel like someone either wanted to go, and I feel like someone was just staring at me, and that's the feeling I get. Do you understand that? No, Pamela, would you understand that? No, I didn't go and see him in his coffin. Said my goodbyes at his bedside. Okay. So would you understand why I'm staring at him then? And would you understand why someone went and see him when he was in his coffin? Because I feel like he keeps showing me. He keeps showing me a coffin, and he keeps showing me laying in it. And I don't mean this to be horrible, because it's not a very nice thing to talk about. But he's obsessed with me telling you this, and I feel like there was someone who would have been looking over him, and I know they were saying words to him while he was in his coffin, and I know they were lovely words, and that's all he keeps talking about, and he just wants to say thank you to them. So I don't know who it was, but if you're not sure, perhaps you might be able to ask that question, because there was lovely words said, okay, and that's what he wants to say. All right. Okay. Yes, others did see him in his coffin. I just want to let you know, it was someone very close to his heart. He tells me it was like almost like a brother to him, or something like that. But also, I want you to know that they said lovely words to him, and I know that it was almost like they wanted to kiss him, but they sort of kissed their hand and just touched him like that on the forehead. So okay, so that's what he's trying to tell me, and he just wants to tell him thank you, and he wants to say for you not to worry anymore, because everything's fine in the spirit world. Everybody's. He said we're having a party. He said, but that's only to make you feel like we're having a party. We're not having a party. We're having a good time over here. We're enjoying life on the other side. So he just wants to let you know that, and for you not to worry about anybody on the other side. They're all in a good place. Okay. All right. Now, okay. I'm going to leave his love with you there, Pamela. Okay. And your stepson probably. Okay. All right. Well, obviously, if you see stepson, find out if he done that. It'll be nice for you to know that. And he just wants to say thank you anyway. But I'm going to leave his love with you. I'm going to say God bless, and hopefully you'll be able to. What's that? Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. He just wants to. He just wants to know and let everybody know that it's not as bad. It's never as bad as it looks, especially when we get over this side. Okay. So I'm going to leave his love with you there. I'm going to say God bless. Okay. Right. Now what we got? I've got a gentleman coming in, love to tinker with old cars. So I feel like this is like a fatherly gentleman. But I know I'm working on like old Ford Cortinas and, cars like that. In fact, he's showing me an old Ford Corsair that he would have worked on. I feel like he's a man that would have loved working on old cars. Perhaps not so old when he was around, but that's the way he shows it to me. He's a lovely gentleman, feels very warm. Just trying to show me something that it would click with someone if I talk about the old cars and the way he used to like working on them. He was always out there tinkering and getting greasy hands and stuff like that. Okay. All right, let's have a look, see what we got here. All right. Right, Lisa, if we come forward, did your dad, I'm going to ask you a question, Lisa. Did your dad like tinkering with cars? Did he like tinkering with them? Right, okay, so he did like working on them, yeah. Okay, and would you understand then Okay. And he'll, I feel like there was something to do with a connection as the cars were getting a little bit more modern. He says, "Give me the old cars any day." That's the feeling I get. Give me the old cars any day. I can work on them, and that's the feeling I get. And would you understand a connection to what we got there? Okay. Would you understand a connection? Yeah, your modern cars. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Because he's saying, give me the old cars any day. I can do what I wanted on them. Yeah. Okay. Would you understand then he had was there a connection to a brother or someone like that, or someone very close to him, like a brother, that would have tinkered with him at some point, or worked with him on them, and they used to spend time together? Because he's showing me someone else that would have tinkered or worked along cars with him, and it feels like a brother, but it could be a very good friend that worked with him, and he just mentions that. Would you understand that? Your brother, okay. He used to work with him, and your brother's still here, yeah? Okay. Your brother's still here on this side of life, yes? Because I feel like I want to link a link to your brother. Hello, Lisa, you still there? Yes, brother's still here. Okay, right, lovely. Yeah, just as I get a feeling, I know I'm not sure whether there's a little bit of worry or concern around your brother at the moment. I'm not sure whether there's been some quite a few changes around him recently, because he talks about the changes around his son. So that's the way he talks. Would you understand that? And also he mentions 3 children. 3 children or 5? Ah, right, okay. No, that makes a lot of sense then, because I know he was concerned around your brother. He's just become a granddad. Okay. All right. All right, that's wonderful, isn't it? Yeah. Would you understand why he talks? I'm not sure whether he's talking about 3 children or 5 children, but he mentions 3, then 5. Yes, me and my 2 brothers. Okay, so there's 3 of yous. Okay, all right. And would you understand why you're? What's that, sir? Would you understand why your brothers? I know his wife just had the operation. Would you understand why he's still talking about concerns that there still needs some more healing to be done around your sister-in-law? Would you understand that? Would you understand that, Lisa? Have you spoke to your brother recently with regards to that? Yes, okay. And I know it's been worrying your brother tremendously, and I feel like I can't prove future, so I can only give you what I get. But it's almost like telling me to tell your brother that there's a lot of help going. Right, okay. So you've got that as well, right? But he's talking about there's still not to worry too much. I'm not saying not to worry, but he wants the pressure taken off your brother, and just let him know that there's a lot of healing going her way to support her now. So there's a lot of thoughts going her way, which is going to mean a lot. I can't tell you exactly what I'm getting, but I want you to know that it's on a positive note. Okay. All right. So I'll give it to you that way, and go from there. That will be dealt. Okay. I'm just reading about a double clef, and then this gentleman just come in and said that'll be dealt with, that'll be sorted, don't worry about that. So he just wants to let you know that, just straight in on that. That was wonderful. I'm going to leave your dad's love with you, but just know that there's a lot of healing going around your family at the moment, and your thoughts are very much heard. All right. So, and he knows that. Don't worry, Lisa. But I'm going to leave his love with you there. I'm going to say God bless. And he just wants to let you know that he's very much looking over the family in his own way. All right. He couldn't, I don't think your brother does this type of thing, but he couldn't link with your brother. So he wanted to come through to you, and he would have always come through to you anyway, because you understood him best, he says. So I'm going to leave his love there, Lisa, and I'll say God bless. Thank you. Okay. Right. We got brain. Okay, I got a person who's passed away with a brain tumor. They're telling me that they had either they didn't quite understand, things weren't feeling right, but I know initially they didn't understand what was going on, but it was muddling their speech, or their actual speech, or their mind. It was almost like it feels like a brain tumor, but I'm not sure whether it was a stroke. But I know it feels more like a growth than a bleed on the brain. So I just got this feeling of someone. Would anybody understand someone who had either a brain tumor and it affected their speech? And okay, all right. Okay, is that Lisa again? Is that the same Lisa? Sorry. Okay, yeah, it is. So your partner's dad's just passed of a brain tumor. Okay, all right. I wasn't quite sure. I was getting someone with a brain tumor. And would you understand, Lisa, just quickly, because I'll try and move on a little bit if I can, because there's a lot of people coming in here now for you. Would you understand that it affected his speech and everything? Just quickly. This is Lisa Bennett again. Okay. Past 2 years ago. Okay. All right. That's all right. He's obviously come forward just to let you know that he's fine. Okay. And that he's in the spirit world. Sometimes they come through like that just to let you know. But that's the feeling I get. Okay. Okay, right. We got just bear with me a second. I'm just reading a couple of these. Nicola Marie Stevens, is it? Your daughter-in-law, Holly, had a brain tumor. Is that correct? Okay. Right. Did she pass away from a brain tumor? All right, because I'm just getting a feeling of that as well. Yeah, she passed. Okay, all right. See if we can get a link to her then, because I just got this brain tumor coming in. Okay. Would you understand that the feeling I get was, I know she was young, and I know this is going to sound a bit strange, but would you understand there was unfinished business, or something that was going to happen or was happening that didn't happen, or there was a talk about something that was going to happen and it never got done? So I'm not sure. Okay, so you've got your granddaughter, yeah? Okay, all right, that's lovely. That's a wonderful feeling, that is. And she knows. Okay, all right. But she talks about something about there was something unfinished, something that wasn't finished, or so there was some plans going on, or something like that. No one got round to doing. Would you understand? Okay. Would you understand then around your son that there's tell me what you mean, darling. Would you understand around your son then that he struggles with certain things as well? I mean, I know you're dealing with their daughter, but would you understand that, Nicola, that he struggles with certain things? Oh, Jesus. Right, okay. So he's okay. This is, yeah, okay, all right. Is this to do with? Was they talking about a bypass on him, or is there stents or something to do with stents? Because I'm seeing something to do with either them talking about various things. Okay, that's lovely. Yeah. Would you understand that they're talking about either they was either talking about a bypass or maybe some stents or something like that? Because I know that she's talking about they haven't left it as it is. And there's been a lot of stress around him as well. She's talking about. Right, so you understand it, what she's showing me then. Okay, so there's more than just stents. He's going to have one of these things that keeps his heart going. Yeah, that's good. I know he's worried about it, and I know there's a lot of concerns around him and it. But but he will get used to it, and it will help him tremendously, and he needs to be around. That's what she's telling me. Okay, so he needs to do whatever he's told. I don't know whether he doesn't do what he's told, but he needs to do whatever he's told, and he needs to be around. So whatever it takes, the care will be brilliant, and he will get everything he needs. So just, I'm telling you stuff here that is future, but I don't normally go into that, but she's very prominent in my mind at the moment, and I'm just saying it as I'm getting it. But she's very much saying that he needs to be strong now. Okay. 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 All right. So you understand it. That's why she's saying he needs to be around. He needs to do what he's told now, and that will help him move forward. Okay. What's that? Bear with me. Okay. If you understand that, Maria, I'll let this lovely young lady go. Just to let you know, she's very proud. Okay. I'm getting emotional here because she's putting emotion in me. She's very proud in what you're doing and the way you are bringing up her daughter. She's I'm going to give you, as she says, it's to the moon and back, she says. So that's how she said it. It's just wonderful, and she wants to thank you for that. All right, you're not doing anything wrong. You're the perfect grandmother, and that's why she says it. Okay, but she says never stop being a grandmother. But there's times when she's going to need you as a mother, so she just wants to let you know that. Okay, and you'll always be there. She's very, very proud and loves you very much. Okay, so I'll leave her love with you there. I think it's a lovely message. Sorry, I'm getting a bit emotional here because she's thrown in a bit of emotion around me. But I'm going to leave her love with you there. I don't think she wants to go. I think she could talk forever, but she loves you very much, and that's what I'm saying. She wants to send her love to everybody there. Okay, I'll say God bless, and tell your son to do what he's told. Right. Okay. All right. What we got now? John James. Yeah, it's two names over there. I'm not quite sure this is. It sounds like it's a double-barreled name. What's happened here? Take that off. I got John James or something like that. It's like a JJ or something like that. Someone that had a double-barreled letter, might be JJ or something like that. Like a JJ, oh, James, John James, or something. Would anybody understand them two names together, or the letters JJ? Or a connection to that? No one? Would anybody understand them two names, John and James, that connects with them? JJ. Hello, hello, Sue. Is Sue Bailey? Yes. Hello, Sue. Right, okay. So I was just getting, they come across as John James. I don't know why, but then they give me the 2 J's. So all I got was J and J, and you understand that, JJ, yeah? Still here, JJ? Okay. Are they still here on this side of life? That's what I'm getting. Because I just got a feeling it's not JJ talking to me. I just got that. Okay. All right. So you've got a JJ in spirit and you've got a JJ here. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we've got that, and, and they've got Maya Miller there with John and James. Okay. Bear with me a second. So let's see what we get here. Okay. So we've got JJ here at the moment. I feel like, I don't know why, but would you understand? I've got something to do with either there being a connection of aggravation or something like that around this person at the moment. Would you understand that? I can see what I'm seeing is fighting, but I know it's not particularly that, because they show me something that gives me the impression that there's something not quite right, and I feel like there's arguments or pressures going on around this person. Would you understand that, Sue? Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you understand that there's a lot. It's almost like I'm seeing a punch up, but it's not a punch up, if you know what I mean. There's just a lot of infighting. That's the only way I can say it. There's a lot of aggravation. There's a lot of trauma, and there's a lot of stress around this person at this present moment. Pressure. Okay, you understand that, yeah. And he can't see no way out of this, can he? So that's the thing. That's what I'm getting. He can't see no way out of it. And what I'm getting is, okay, I'll explain. Yeah, I'll explain. Okay. Sometimes in situations, you have to just walk away from it. If you want to get rid of something that bad, you have to walk away from it. And I feel like this is a position that this person, it's not in their way of going about things, but I feel like they need not at present. He can't. Okay. All right. Is that he can't or he won't? Because I get a feeling that that there's times when you just have to walk, and I just feel like at the moment, not at present he can't. Okay. All right. Would you? Okay. Very accurate. Okay. All right. Listen, I know he's not a person to give up easily, because that's the feeling I'm getting. And I know he will always try his best to win the battle. But some battles you can't win, and sometimes you have to turn tail and run. I just got a feeling that if it comes to that stage, and this is the feeling I'm getting, if it comes to that stage, just allow. There's no judgment, but just allow him to do it. Yeah. Because I feel like sometimes things can destroy you, and this could hurt him badly if he doesn't turn tail and run, if it gets that bad. So just let him know that there's times to walk, okay? If that's possible, okay? Still there, Sue? Sorry. Okay. Look, I'm going to leave their love with you. Yeah. Yeah, I just get that feeling, Sue, but you know, sensitive people always get hurt. So just remember that, you know, in anybody's life, I know it's difficult sometimes, but there's always a time to walk, and you'll find that there's a better life, even though you can't see it at that present moment in time, you know, but it turns out for the better in the end. We all know that. So we've all been through it. So I'm going to leave their love with you. Okay. I'm going to say God bless, and hopefully, you know, he'll find his way through that. Now, I had one earlier on who had John James, and I can't remember who it was. They actually took the name John James. I can't remember who it was who took the name John James.
So I think that was Maya Miller
Okay.
there, Stephen.
Sorry.
Maya, are you still with us, Maya? I think it was Maya that had the John James name.
Oh, was it?
There. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Can we carry on with that, or we got
Yeah,
time?
yeah, we've got a bit of extra time, Stephen. We'll do one more, then we've got Frank's cards, his animal cards that he does at the end.
Okay.
So,
All right. Hello, Maya. Okay. It was your dad and granddad, yeah, with the name John and James, yeah. Still here, yeah. Okay. All right. On a positive note, I just got to tell you just quickly, because they're asking me to be quick with you. I don't know why, but they're not fundamentally in the spirit world. There's a lot of positivity around the pair of them at the moment, but I feel like there's been some concerns around one of them, and I feel like the other one's hurting through that. But I know that there's a lot of good still to come from the pair of them, and I know that someone's been worrying about them. But I feel like throw them cares away, throw them worries away. I know there's a lot of support and love still to come from them. Okay. Would you understand that one of them's got either a broken chair, or there's something to do with a chair that needs a new support, or repairing, or changing even, you know? Oh, they're both in spirit died. Right. Sorry. Would you understand then one of them had a broken chair? Because I'm getting a broken chair. See, I'm seeing them together. Oh, I suppose they would be together even in spirit, wouldn't they? there is a broken chair. Okay. I feel like sometimes when you these things sometimes need to be either just got rid of, or before someone has an accident or something on it, or something like that. I don't know whether someone's had an accident on a broken chair, or they're talking about a broken chair. But anyway, if it's around you, then you need to get rid of it. If it's around them, then they should have got rid of it. But it's almost like that feeling as well. Okay. But they were very, because I'm getting a feeling of this very closeness, where they feel like they're very close in spirit. Okay. Would you understand with the pair of these that they were very close this side of life? Because they give me a feeling like they're still here. I know they are, in the sense of they're always looking over us and things like that. These, our family members and that. But I feel like there was a very strong closeness. They died in the same year. Okay, all right. Okay. I just feel like, as I get a feeling of them, and they're coming through, I just feel like there's that need to understand that they're very much close in the spirit world, and that they're looking over the family members. Okay. And he just wants, okay. And your dad wants to send his love to you. Okay. Okay. So I'll just say God bless, and thank you for listening to me, Maya. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Rob. Is there anything else?
That's perfect. No, thank you, Stephen. Some lovely messages there. Very emotional evening tonight.
Rob, you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me, Stephen?
Yeah, I can hear you just about. Yeah. Gotcha.
Great. Well, we've got Frank's 3 animal cards that he draws for everyone on this little video, and then we'll come back to you for a closing prayer, if that's all right.
Okay, lovely, mate. No problem at all. Thank you.
Super. Thanks, Stephen. There we go. Well, look, what a lovely evening with Stephen tonight, and some really emotional messages there, especially towards the end. So lovely to have Stephen with us. Okay, friends, but although we did go a little bit longer than we normally do, we still can't get round to everyone with a message. So that's why Frank from church draws 3 animal cards earlier in the day and records this video. So tune into one of these 3 cards that you're drawn to, and let's take an uplifting thought into the week ahead.
Good evening. Our first crystal this evening is the citrine, and with that goes the card for the deer. The deer symbolises high emotional experience, gentleness and kindness, innocence and grace. The deer says someone new may have recently entered your life or is about to do so. This might be a romantic or platonic relationship. You may receive an unexpected emotional message or be invited to a social event. If you are, you should go. The deer can indicate the beginning of new spiritual insight or an increase in intuitive ability. The deer can represent a sensitive, open-hearted and caring person. She is very inexperienced, yet fascinated by the world of emotions, and that can make her quite shy. She's highly artistic and tends to love poetry, journals, songwriting, and any other form of artistic expression. Her intense focus upon her own emotions might mean that she could forget to consider the more intellectual side of things. Symbolising gentleness and innocence, the deer is truly beautiful to behold, as it moves among the forest with the pure grace of a ballet dancer fleeting across the stage. Excuse me. The sight of them can suddenly make you find your heart will swell with a flood of emotion. Deer reminds you to be gentle, not just with others, but also with yourself. And our next crystal is the amethyst. With that goes the card for the shepherd puppy. This little puppy is all about excitement, joy, following your heart, even though you may lack experience. Being playful with a puppy-like innocence and a belief that you can do anything. This tiny shepherd dog asks you to see the world through the eyes of a puppy, full of newness, excitement, and endless possibilities. Bravely venturing out with healthy curiosity is second nature to you. So don't wait. Go and see what amazing things life has in store for you. All the options are now open to you. So believe in your abilities. Be pure in your intentions. Find joy and then run with it. This card also indicates unexpected opportunities. Shepherd dogs are among the most intelligent of breeds, with natural tracking skills that allow them to sniff out exciting opportunities, just as they would sniff out lost sheep. They can shepherd situations and people towards a common goal. It doesn't matter if they don't know how to do something, because they'll figure it out eventually. They are quick learners. These dogs want you to follow their lead. If you just trust in your intuition and your instincts and do your best to make life fun, then the rest will work itself out quite quickly. And our third crystal is the rose quartz. And with that goes the card for the tabby cat. The tabby cat is about receiving good news and being offered opportunities to do something rewarding or challenging. Something wonderful either has just happened or is about to happen for you. It will most likely involve learning. It may be time to go back into education or take action on a well thought out plan, which will now go perfectly. You may have received an offer of a job or promotion where you already are, which will need new training, or perhaps you have been accepted into a college learning program that you were hoping you can use to advance yourself in the future. This is your opportunity to learn something exciting or start a more rewarding and uplifting path. The tabby cat is very cheerful, reliable and intelligent, but just a little bit mischievous. She loves to learn and will always go out of her way to make you happy. It's really not in her nature to do a bad job. She will always go above and beyond what you expect of her. Her love of learning sometimes can get in her way. She could easily become bored, but you just need to keep tossing her a fresh challenge and she'll do just fine. The tabby cat doesn't refer to a single breed, but to a series of markings across many breeds. Most distinctive is the M on the forehead between her eyes. There are lots of theories as what this is about, but it's most likely telling you that she brings a message. The tabby cat is all about messages, happy messages, to do with the future and dreams coming true. So when you see a tabby, just remember that the M means a magical mystery is heading its way to you. 3 lovely cards there with a lot of good future happiness in them and a lot of advice on how to obtain that. Thank you for listening to me.
Lovely. Thank you, Frank. Okay, friends, let's go back to Stephen for a closing prayer, and then I'll play out the closing Vesper. Grant us thy peace, as usual. Thank you, Stephen.
All right, thank you. Please join me in prayer. Dear God, Divine Spirit, we thank you once again for bringing through loved ones, sharing your love, support, guidance and help, giving them inspiration to move forward in the best way possible, and giving them the help, support and love that they need most of all. I want to thank the spirit world, the loved ones that come through and their wonderful messages that they want to give to their loved ones. I ask that you send all these people home safe, keep them safe, give them love and healing where it's needed most of all. I ask all this in love. Amen.
Well, a very, very big thank you to Stephen Woods for taking tonight's online service. Those lovely messages there, and the address earlier. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you also to our medium in church tonight. That was Karen Butler, standing in at the last minute. So thank you, Karen. Always appreciate your love and support. Hope you had a good evening there. Thank you to Frank for chairing in church tonight. Thank you to Peter for the Bible reading. And thank you to Frank again for the cards at the end there. Thank you all for watching online and supporting the church. Hope you have a really great week ahead. And I hope you can join us again next Sunday at 6:30. But until then, take care and good night.